you for joining us today.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank goodness. My name is Melissa Sims. I just wanted to let you know who I am. I am a yoga teacher. I have been teaching yoga for about 5 years, and I just absolutely love it. It's changed my life. And one of the best things that I can do is share that with other people. So today we are going to briefly touch on the concept of yoga, and then I will guide you through about a 10-minute yoga session. You can do it right at your desk. I do recommend maybe if you're wearing high heels, there is a point where we stand. You might want to just take your shoes off at that or prior to getting started. So after that, we'll follow it up with a quick Q&A and a brief evaluation. So let's go ahead and get started here. Now, go back one, please, Teresa. Thank you. So what is yoga? We've all heard of it. We've all seen it somewhere, either on social media, maybe at a local gym or studio, or even on television. But what exactly is it? Well, yoga originated about 5,000 years ago, but many experts really place that closer to about 10,000 years because the history of yoga has been passed on in strange ways. It's always been kind of word of mouth. It's either written on a piece of parchment, or which, that doesn't stand the test of time. It was even written on the backs of leaves and given to students, or it was told verbally, the history of it. So a lot of that has been kind of convoluted, and nobody really knows the actual real origin of it. It's all word of mouth. The history of yoga is actually rooted in Hinduism, but it was also very widely found in other religions, such as Buddhism and Jainism. And much of those teachings, like I said, they were secretive. It was seen as a path to enlightenment. So a lot of yogis did not want to share with others because we weren't quite as open-minded maybe about enlightenment as we are today. So interestingly, the yoga we see now in the Western world has been pretty much washed of religion. It began, however, in the West from a woman named Indra Devi. She brought it over here. And it's because she opened a studio in none other than Hollywood. And this was in 1947. So in her view, and what she brought to us, it was that yoga was not about religion. It was really a form of movement designed to reduce stress and anxiety. It was referred to as a moving meditation. And once movie stars began practicing, much like society today, once the movie stars do it, it kind of catches on. That's when it really began to take off in the US. In yoga, we work with asanas, prana, nadis, and chakras. Some of those you may not have heard of before, but asana is the practice of actually doing the poses. Its purpose is to move the body in certain ways so that we can connect with and open our nadis. And now the nadi is a system of channels of energy flow, somewhat similar to maybe you've heard of the meridians in Chinese medicine. This is pretty much the same thing. And we know, and if you've taken our classes before, you know that everything in the entire universe is made out of energy, including our bodies. So the more open all of these energy channels are that we have in our body, the stronger our cells and organs are, which in turn leads to better overall health and well-being. You've probably heard of chakras. These are the points in the body where the energy from the nadis, that energy system, converges, it processes, and it transforms. It's kind of like the washing machine for all of that energy. And you can see in that picture there, it's got the circles along the body. That is where all of those chakras are located. And we'll give a little more information maybe on the website about chakras and all of this in a little more depth. So if you ever have an imbalance in any of those chakras, those are your energy centers, it can cause disruptions in the body, either emotionally, mentally, or even physically. So opening up these energy channels increases the amount of prana that is flowing through our bodies. And now prana is the most important part of the physical practice of yoga, not so much the poses themselves. And prana is something you may have heard of in other forms, such as life force, maybe the soul, your spiritual energy, your chi, etc. And yoga today has so many forms, right? You've seen so many different kinds of things. Maybe you've seen Bikram yoga, where we stand and hold each 26 poses for 1 minute each pose. It's pretty difficult, right? We've seen hot yoga, where you're in a studio where it's heated to like 100 degrees and there's high humidity. There's Pilates, which I'm sure you've heard of. There's also hatha yoga. There's vinyasa. I mean, there's just a multitude of different things. But the one thing, the one element that binds all of those different practices together is the mind and the body connection. And this is accomplished through the focus of our breath. So just as prana is the most important physical part of yoga, the breath is our most important tool. It's not your flexibility. It's not your ability to stand on your hands or on your head. It's not your acrobatic poses, but it's just the breath. And using that breath removes energetic blockages, and it serves to purify the body, which increases prana flow. When you breathe really deeply and with your full body, you can enter the flow, open those energy channels we talked about, and you increase the prana. So today, I want to show you how you can achieve the positive benefits of a yoga class right from your desk during your lunch break. So I am going to guide you through, in this video, I'm going to guide you through about a 10-minute yoga session. And you're only going to need your desk and your chair. If your chair has wheels, maybe be conscious of that. When we do stand up, we will hold on to the back of it. And then also, like I said earlier, if you're wearing high heels for when we stand, you might want to have those removed. At the end of the video, like I said, we will stand briefly. If you don't have room to stand, don't worry about it. You can just stay seated. And if at any moment you begin to feel any kind of discomfort, either physically or emotionally, you can just go ahead and stop the exercise. So let's first make ourselves nice and comfortable so we can clear our minds. So for a brief moment, I would like you to either close your eyes if you're comfortable, or just rest your gaze at one point. And now let's take a deep breath in together and exhale. During the practice in the video, when we exhale, I would really like for you to focus on your mouth, your jaw. Your jaw should be nice and relaxed. And when you do breathe out, it's a forcible exhale. It's almost like you're fogging up a mirror, okay? So you can go ahead and continue to start to breathe right now and bring your focus to your breath. So just breathing in and out. Good. As you are focusing on the breath, I want you to let go. Let go of the dramas from yesterday, the bills you have to pay today, the deadlines tomorrow, maybe even a conflict that you haven't dealt with. We're just going to put all of those things in this little imaginary box. And now I want you to put a lid on the box. And we're just going to take that imaginary box, we're going to set it on the floor, out of sight. We're not even going to think about it. We're not going to worry about it because it's going to be there when we're done taking care of ourselves. Now, what I want you to do as you continue to breathe, place your attention on your energy that you feel in your body right now. Notice where you're holding tension, maybe in your shoulders, in your neck, maybe even in your gut. Just observe it. Don't judge it. Just observe. You can go ahead and press play. Okay, let's get started. Try to get a chair with a flat seat and back. Go ahead and sit on the edge of your chair, but make sure you're comfortable. Placing your feet flat on the floor, make sure your back is nice and straight. Knees should be separated, feet about hip width apart. Go ahead and place your hands on your knees, sitting up nice and straight, and take a deep breath in. Good. Open the mouth wide and audibly exhale. Just relax. On the next inhale, notice your breath as it travels down your throat, all the way to the base of the belly. Good. Nice, strong exhale. Taking another breath on your own, feeling it move down into your core. As you exhale, use the muscles in your body to push the air out. Take another breath in, feeling that energy move through the body. And exhale, letting all that tension go. Good. Check in with the body, making sure you aren't holding tension in your shoulders or in the jaw. Take another inhale. Good. And breathe out. Now place your hands on your knees. And on the next breath in, I want you to push your chest forward and your face up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, you're going to hollow out the chest, pushing your shoulders forward and rounding out the back. Take another breath in, arching the lower back as you push your chest forward. And release, rounding out the back. Good. Again. And exhale. 2 more. Inhale. And release. Last one. Deep breath in. And out. Let's do a seated figure 4. Take either leg and place the ankle over the knee. Place one hand on top of the knee and place the other over the ankle for stability. Make sure your back is nice and straight. Breathe in nice and deep, and on the exhale, very gently press down on the knee. Take another breath on your own. After your exhale, gently fold forward until you feel resistance. Everyone's flexibility is different, so don't worry about how far you can fold. Make sure your head is nice and relaxed, and you are not holding tension in the shoulders or the neck. Continuing to breathe, making sure our elbows are tucked in. Nice deep breath, and release. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now let's switch sides. Straight back, hands on the knee and the ankle. Taking a breath in, relaxed shoulders in and out. Another breath, feeling the chest rise on the inhale. And as you exhale, you gently press on the knee. And now we forward fold, making sure our necks are nice and relaxed, letting the head hang heavy. No tension in the shoulders as we breathe in and we breathe out. Another breath on your own, breathing in and breathing out. Continue to take a few more breaths on your own, nice and quiet in the mind. Good. Now slowly roll the body upward, making sure we sit up nice and straight. On the next breath in, slide your arms upward, palms facing each other, gaze lifted high. On the exhale, the arms come out to the side and down towards the chair. Inhale, gaze up high, nice, strong arms. On this exhale, we will bring one arm down to our thigh, and the other will stretch across the body, looking up toward the hand. Take a breath here, feeling a nice stretch along the side. Now switch sides, bringing the opposite arm up high, gaze following the hand. Make sure the feet are nice and flat on the floor. taking a deep breath in and feeling a wonderful stretch along the side. Take another breath and release tension as you exhale. Bringing your feet together, I would like you to place your left forearm across the back of your chair as you scoot your bottom all the way back if possible, making sure your feet are still flat on the floor. Place the right hand on the outside of the left knee. As you twist your upper body, let your gaze flow to the back of the room, trying to keep your back as straight as possible, taking deep, intentional breaths. Let's switch sides and take a few breaths in silence. Coming back to the front, slowly stand up. If you aren't able to stand, you can remain seated. Make sure your feet are about hip width apart and grab opposite elbows, making sure the knees are bent, and slowly fold forward. Please watch your head if you are at your desk. Making sure the neck and shoulders are relaxed, let the head hang heavy. I want you to gently sway from left to right, taking your time and just feeling the stretch. Remember to breathe. We never hold our breath in yoga. Now slowly rise up, rolling the back and then the neck upward. Arms come up above the head. Palms come together, bringing them toward the heart in gratitude. If you need the space, you can turn your chair. Place both hands on the back of your chair and forward fold, bringing the body into an L shape. You can keep the elbows bent if you are short on space, or if you have room, bring them out straight, nice and long. This is a wonderful back and shoulder stretch, but make sure that your head is hanging heavy and you are not holding tension in the neck. Taking a few deep breaths here. Whether your arms are bent or straight, just make sure that your back is as flat as possible and bent knees are totally fine. As you rise up, round the back out to protect the lower back and the neck, and come back to center. Inhale the arms up overhead, palms facing inward, and exhale, bring the palms back together at heart center. Wonderful. So you can go ahead and take a seat, and let's take just a couple more breaths together. So let's breathe in super deep. Try to hold the breath there for just a second and exhale. Good. Let's do another one just like that. Breathe in nice and deep. And exhale. Very good. Now I want you to try to pay attention to that energy that we focused on earlier, the energy in your body. Are you still holding that tension? Maybe the tension has moved a little bit. Maybe it's gotten a little bit less. Can you feel maybe a difference in your mood? Take a deep breath again, in and out. Good. I am so grateful that you guys have taken the time to give yourself some more balance today. A common saying that a lot of teachers and yogis say in yoga is namaste. And very simply translated, it means that all of the light, all of the good, and all of the love in me recognizes and honors all of the light and the good and the love in you. So namaste. Thank you very, very, very much. And now, if anybody has any kind of questions, whether about yoga, about anything, we're happy to answer. So And you can stick it in the chat too, if that's better for you.
I have a question, Melissa.
Sure.
So for someone who's having problems like
Mhm.
me with my hips, if
Mhm.
I can't bend my leg, one of my legs, when you do the leg crossover, what would you suggest that I do?
So there's another way that you can stretch the hips out without having to do that figure four. And what you do is you keep your both feet flat. You're still on the edge of your chair. And if you take both fists and you just put them in between your knees, and you kind of press your knees together, what that's going to do is it's actually going to help realign your hips. And another thing that you can do right before you do that, I don't know if, can you see me? If you take your knee and you put your hands on the outside of your knee and you just push your knee forward, like while pulling back on your hands. So it's kind of like you're putting a lot of resistance on your hands.
Right.
As much as comfortable, you do it on both sides. And then you put the two fists in between. And often, and it happens to me all the time, my hips will pop once I do that. And they pop kind of back into where they should be. And I was actually taught that by a yoga teacher who's actually a physical therapist. So